So I think across the board, we all know they don't fit into the normal mold of what it should be, but they're a genius at certain things. And I just would like to tell everybody that Malaysia is going to have a autistic school. Yeah, the Prime Minister's wife is in New York, and she just had a session with Autism Speaks, which is the body in America that recognizes autism. They're going to be working in Malaysia to bring this school and to make it like a center of excellence. Because without the right education, especially in Malaysia, it's going to be very tough. So I think it's great, that Malaysia is going to set, and they're going to have something in the Bible.
Yes, education is the key.
Yeah, I know. They're so small, and the moms and the parents are just lost and don't know what to do because they have to fit into the mold what society wants them to do.
Yes.
We know a little bit more, and that's why we're trying to do this journey to see how we can help them, how to bring that back to Malaysia.
Sure, sure. Thank you. That's very good news. Very good news. Well, I'm gonna talk a lot about that subject and topic, which is the title of this talk is From Silence and Darkness to Self-Expression and Soul Shine, which is what I've been going through through my life. So you can imagine that silence and darkness are like metaphors for autism, and self-expression and soul shine are like when it's possible to open up and just be, well, alive and happy and free. So I'm just gonna start with making noise. All right. Maybe I'm gonna. If it's too bad with this one, maybe I'll just use this one. It's better. Okay. Just turn the other one off, please. Wow. This. Okay. The other one. Okay. So a little bit about this this place where we all belong, which is our culture and where we were born, and how we receive information from our environment and our parents and just the social and the family environment, which is one part of what we are and who we are. So over there you can see there's a sign. It's a very stupid sign because what it says in French is Brittany, which is the region where I'm from, and it says capital of the world. And I think it's humanity birthplace or something like that. It's just stupid. Anyway, what I wanted to show with this sign is also there is a flag, black and white, and also Brittany is this part of the world in Western France where it was not French language, it was a different language before the government decided that we should all speak French. Anyway, so it's like a minority culture, so it's like a tradition of music and dance, and it's still very alive. It's been changed through the years because of modern civilization, urban cities, and everything, but it's still very deep, the culture and the music and everything. So this is where I was born. Well, my father was a musician and a singer, and which is probably why later on. And so I was just thinking about this place where I was born, which is called Nantes. And just as an introduction, there was a song I wanted to just give you the words, which I'm going to try to translate. It's called, some people speak French here. Yeah, okay. uh, Tell me if translation is alright. It's okay? Okay. Donc, essaye, si tu pars, n'oublie pas la terre où ton cœur a vu le jour. Zanzibar ou Maurepas, faudra jamais que tu oublies l'amour. Did you get that? Ah, t'es française. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna try saying in English now. If you leave, if you go abroad, don't forget the ground, the earth where your heart was born. Zanzibar, which is an island,
Zanzibar.
African coast, or Maurepas, which is a city near Paris. Um, Faudra jamais que tu oublies l'amour. Um, Please never forget love.
Mm.
And it's an African singer who sang that song. It's really beautiful. Anyway, this I was introduced to music very young, and I started with this thing over there, African percussion. And at the same time, I was also introduced to energetics like Qigong and Tai Chi. Actually, yes, let me show you this. Actually, I got a picture of this. Oh, this is when I was born. And what is this one? Okay, this is the building where I was born. On the third floor. And oh yeah, that's the street name. Sheila's Fog is a is a character in a book. It's called 80 Days Around the World.
Mm.
And okay, this is what place I was referring to. Malagasy is this big island. It's not an island; it's like a continent over there. And there is also Royan Island and Mauritius Island next to it. So this is I was introduced to music with a percussion teacher from Madagascar, and well, I just kept going on with this. So after that, I also studied English. I went to the university, studied English, went to Scotland, where there's a different way of speaking, which I love. Where they say, the bus is down the road, and when they want to say, the bus is down the road. Um, when people say, when they want to say, I don't know, they say, I do not can, which is a nice way of saying it, also. Uh, so, yes, what's next? Okay, this is next. Then I moved, well, to West Africa, where I had my first experience as a musician, as a traveler, met some great people, and then, well, through my life there was, well, basically two things which was had a lot of impact on me until the first thing was being this very silent and very emotional kid, very oversensitive, sensitive to sound, sensitive to light, sensitive to emotions, and had a very hard time socializing with other people actually. And the other thing that really had an impact on the way I think and the way I see the world right now is because of illnesses and death. Uh, Basically, everybody in my family died before the age of 20.
Mm.
And my grandmother died when my mother was pregnant of me, so which some doctors say may be a cause for autism, but maybe, I don't know. And so when I was like 25 years, I also got tuberculosis, illness maybe. Yeah, I like tuberculosis, was in the hospital, and just got out of the hospital, and then my father died, so it was like very hard times, like in my 20s, which made me decide that I was just ready for anything, when you lose everyone in your family, you just, well, you don't have any, you're just ready for any move, anything is possible. Because you don't, you lose your roots and you, well, you don't know what to do, so you just go with the flow.
Sure.
And I've been doing that for a long time now. So the flow took me to this place, Bordeaux, which is where I'm staying right now. And very quickly, I was introduced to the music people, became a, well, percussion teacher, a recording artist. I started touring and started recording with a lot of people from different places, like gypsy music from Spain. Now I'm music from Morocco, African music. Some people from Indonesia actually, also from Bandung, and some very nice music, and also some reggae music. A lot of reggae music, and I was talking about it sooner during the day. It's very impressive how you get energy when you're on stage and there is like a crowd of 5,000 people in front of you, and you're like, wow. You don't see the people actually, but you feel the energy, which is really what also I feel music is about. I would also play for dance classes, and this is what led me to this mix of movement and theater and music, which I do now. So it started there. So this music thing, touring and everything, stopped at some point, and then I started working at the university in Bordeaux, and I've been doing that so far, teaching people who are going to deal with disabled people, kids, older people with motor difficulties as well. So this is what I've been doing in Bordeaux and also Paris and also Réunion Island recently. So it's called psychomotricity. And psychomotricity, well, it says what it says: psychological, and motricity, body movements, and how your movements and the way you are in your body affects the way you think and the way you feel, and this relationship, which is like always back and forth. Um, so I've been doing that and been very committed to it. And well, I started. I didn't have any degree for that. I just had my experience, and I feel completely related to something I wrote about vision, saying, okay, if you don't get it, you don't need a degree. Well, okay, I didn't get a degree, and well, that's part of my life actually. And just connections with people brought me there at the university. So in 2005, okay, let's move. Boom, boom. Oh, this is the vineyard near Bordeaux. What is? Oh yes, go and visit that place one day if you can. It's the biggest sun in Europe, I think. It's beautiful. It's, it's near Bordeaux. It's about 1 hour from Bordeaux. A lot of surfing, lots of boats. Okay, that's me after something happened. Um, this is my Stomp story. How many people here knows the Stomp company? Stomp. Stomp. S-T-O-M-P?
Yeah.
Yeah? Some people know? Alright. Okay, no, so I have a short story about working with Stomp. This was in London in 2005. I went through the audition process like 3 times and made it the third time in London, got a contract, learned the show, and was very exciting, and was a part in my life where I had never learned so many things in such a short amount of time. That was just unbelievable. Like I was like eating rhythm, like basically feeding like with a needle, like receiving information like 8 hours a day, and it was completely mad, crazy. Um, but then I didn't go on tour with the company, which was a good thing for my body because it's really hard on your body, this work, especially for your knees and ankles and just your structure, your bones, because you stomp around a lot, and it really hurts your body at some point. If you do that, if you like play 200 shows a year, that's a lot on your body. Anyway, so back in Bordeaux, maybe I have another picture. That's stomp, yeah. That's very high energy, very. It's really based on rhythm, comedy, and movement. It's really a full show. It's really inspiring, and it's really one part of my life. It's really this company. Working with them has really taught me many things about how I can teach rhythm, how I can use rhythm as a tool, as a mediation, as a way to express my feelings, a way to express my inside, what I feel. So that was a nice step. Then from some, I moved on to teaching in high schools yes, high schools. Well, kids from say 10 to 16, and I did that a lot. I was just everybody was asking me, would you come to the school? And I was like, at that time in my life, I was just doing. Oh, that's later. I was just doing everything. I was like hyperactive, like completely. Woo! I go there, I go there, I go there. I do this, I do this, I do this, which was really nice. And after a while, it was very disturbing also. So basically, what happened in 2007, basically, I ended up in a hospital for burnout. I don't know, you know, burnout. It means when you work so much that you get nothing, just empty. So I stayed like for 1 month too. And then it's this thing I want to talk about. It's the click. The click that happens sometimes, which is how one moment, it's just usually, I don't know if you've been through this experience, you probably know what I mean. There is a decision inside, and you think, and you feel it, and you feel, okay, this is time to move on. This is time to change. This is time to do things differently. This is a time for, like pushing, not exactly pushing myself, but maybe accepting myself, accepting who I am, accepting that I am here in society, that I have this weakness, this strength, and I just do with it from now, and just accept it. And so that day, I can remember very precisely. I was in that hospital, and my life was a real mess. I can tell you, it was a real mess. Just everything in my life was a mess. Like my emotions, from the outside, it looked like very well. It was okay. You're succeeding as an artist. It's cool. You do what you love. But I can tell you, inside was like, wow, very empty. Actually, I was feeling like, why am I doing all this? Okay, it's action, it's fun, but what's the meaning of all this? So when I realized that, it was like, wow, okay, there are options now. I can do it. I can do something about it. I can change the way I talk to people. I can change, well, that was things I could change. And so I started like cleaning, I would say cleaning, like, okay, making choices and making things different. And so that was 2008. I went back to my place, and I called a friend, a very good friend. He was supposed to be here actually today, but couldn't make it. He's half French, half Cambodian. He's in Phnom Penh right now, and we're very good friends. We just laugh together. We just enjoy ourselves. We have this also instant connection. When you meet someone and it clicks, and okay, it's gonna click for a while, maybe a long time, maybe in fact forever. And this kind of, it's obvious. Okay, it's obvious. We know each other. You don't need to talk. I know what you feel and all this sort of thing. So Eric, that's his name, Eric. And what Eric did with me, and I really thank him today, is he brought me to a clown workshop. And wow, you want me to go to a clown workshop? Are you sure? I was like, okay, I've never done this before. And I was really afraid. I was really afraid of talking. Just using words to me was like forbidden. It was like, alien land. It was oh, this is not safe place. So I went there, and it was like awakening. I just realized that, oh yes, it's possible. I can talk, I can dance, I can just express my feelings. Yeah, I can do that, and I can go crazy anytime, and just choose what I want to do, and just do. Okay, I want to dance about my happiness. I do my dance about happiness. Okay, this is my dance about happiness. This is it. All right. And then I want to sing it. I want to sing about it. I can do it also. Just this process of learning um, as a performer to be a clown on stage, which is not the main point. The main point was just going through different experiences and getting a better knowledge of who I am, how I function, and then also how I can relate to other people, how I can, because if I know what's happening here, it's easier to know what's happening there inside of you also. Because it's been said before, we're all connected, so I used to think we're different. Well, I think the more I go through life, the more I feel like, well, no, we're not different. We're just the same people. We've got one heart, a body, and mind and soul. So why are we making all so many problems from cultural barriers and everything? So this is basically what I went through because of learning about clowning. And yeah, that was cool. The same, we went to this festival in San Francisco called International Body Music Festival, which is a great place, happening every year. You can go. I think this year it's happening in San Francisco again. And Eric and I, we were improvising there, and they gave us a nickname. They told us we were the spiritual troublemakers. Because we would go on stage and we didn't know before going on stage what we would do, but we would do. Um, so the same body music. What is body music? I'm gonna share that with you at the end of this talk. I'm going to share you and offer you, and if you want to make an experience together, we can do an experience body music together. What it means is using your body as a music instrument. It's very simple. It's using your voice and this thing. And oh well, I just show you a little bit what some people showed me before. It was like this. So, I just show you. I just show you. Then we do together after.
Or rhythmic clapping.
Or just using sound as my music. That brought me back to my body. Actually, that was the main point about it. Also, it's okay. Hi, ooh, wow, I'm alive. All right, I can do things with my body. I can do music, I can play music, I can dance at the same time. Which is really what body music is about. Is the music you can see or the dance you can hear. I'm just quoting Kickstart, who is the organizer of that festival. And also clowning brought me a new perspective, and there is something I went through also as a human being, is I went through the process of learning this thing called nonviolent communication.
Hmm.
Are any of you familiar with this concept,
Yeah.
or you heard about it? Right. Okay. So just a few words, nonviolent communication is about expressing your feelings, and with the communication process, the first step is you observe, then you observe a situation, you watch what's happening, then you watch what's happening inside of you. You notice there is a feeling, and this feeling is like, it says something about your needs, your deep needs and your desires, and then you just ask or make a request, and just connect to people that way. It's very deep. It really helped me to feel better in my social interactions. It really helped me to except there is a lot of violence in many social interactions. And it's so hard sometimes to connect to what you feel inside, or just to be able to express it in very simple words without being aggressive, or without being resentful, or without accusing someone of doing this or this or this. And it's just a very interesting process also, this NVC, nonviolent communication. So after all these experiences, there is this year, and yeah, it's cool. Uh, 2013, I just watched, looking at the time. So 2013, what does it mean? Um, what does it mean to me? I just show you one thing. This place.
Reunion Island.
This is Ronan Island, close to Mauritius. It's Wonderland. I mean, it's paradise. It's really an incredible place. It's a little bit like Bali, actually. It's the same vibe, the same energy. You can really, I mean, connecting to the energy in Ronan Island is very intense. It's very wow. There is volcano there. There is a rainforest as well. There is a lot of things going on from cultural point of view, artistic point of view. It's mix of cultures. Maybe you can see here. Well, that's mountains, and you can see like there's houses over there. There's people living just there, just there in the wilderness. Or yeah, and it's just very interesting. And the mix of cultures is very intense. People from China, people from India, people from Africa, people from Europe, and it's all mixed. It's very like temples like this are very um, there's a lot of temples, Tamil or Tamil, I don't know which one they say. Um, and just a mix of culture is amazing, and the energy of the people and the energy of the place. So what happened? Um, Basically, I received a phone call. Basically, that's what I received a phone call from a student in Bordeaux who said, "Would you like to come there and teach?" And I was, "Yeah, okay, okay, no problem. When is that?" "Oh, okay, it's in May. Okay, I'm available. I go." Um, and so I did a teaching like for 1 week, like 6 hours a day. First 5 days was with students, young students, psychomotricity students. And the weekend I did with professionals like educators, social workers, psychometricians, musicians, actors, just everyone was mixed in the workshop. And I met some people, I met some energy there for some reason. And I've got just a story, a short story I want to tell you about what happened to me there. So the story goes like this. I was one day I was driving a car. I was like almost every morning there, every day. I stayed like for maybe 3 weeks over there. Like almost every day I was crying. And I was crying like tears of joy, which was like feeling so grateful for being there on that island. Like, wow, this is so beautiful. This is the place where I feel home. Emotion. Emotion. And so I was driving my car there this morning, and and there was this view of the Indian Ocean, and there was a double rainbow, just one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen on the ocean. And At that time in my life, I mean, like just a few months ago, I was like struggling with different things. And one of the things I was struggling with was my artistic team. And I had a question about a musician, a friend of mine, who I was not sure about being involved in the project I was making. And I asked him before the trip, and I told him, please would you tell me if you're still with me in the project or if you're leaving and you're too busy to do it and you're doing something else. And my friend didn't give me any answer before I traveled there. So I was a little bit like, I had that, in the back of my mind, I was like, what am I going to decide? What's the right decision? Should I work with him? Should I stop? Should I? I was like struggling, like every day a little bit of thinking about it. And just that morning, driving this car, I started crying because there's so much beauty around me. The place was just so beautiful. 9 a.m. in the morning, Indian Ocean, double rainbow, beautiful blue sky. And I was just going to a healing station, actually, a shiatsu station with a friend. And so there was like this click again, a click inside, inside my body, my heart, inside my soul, which say, okay, no, you don't need to struggle. You just need to follow your intuition. Just accept it. And what's most obvious thing is you're not gonna you're not going to work together with this guy. You just it's not the right choice. So just let go. Just let go. And so it was obvious. It was like, wow, okay. I felt like relieved. Like, wow, I can start breathing. I can, wow, cool. It's over. I'm feeling okay. And then I went to this healing station and a lot of like, well, strange things and other things I will eventually cover all the time. But um, like emotional, also a lot of emotions went out. And I went back home and well, there was an email in my mailbox. It was my friend writing, I'm not working with you no longer, I'm too busy. So I was, okay, well, okay. I just knew it, but I just received that information. It was like synchronicity, what I call synchronicity, which is, okay, when I'm completely in alignment, like this thing, body, heart, mind, and soul, when everything is like, well, cool, it's like, okay, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, and I'm okay with it, then these things start happening. And also, it really triggered a lot of different things. Like I wouldn't sleep. Actually, I would almost stop sleeping. I would sleep like 2 or 3 hours a night only, and it was okay. It was okay. Okay, I get up at 4 in the morning and I went to bed at 1. It's okay. It's cool. Okay, yeah. I'm on my own island. It's great. And it was really just crazy, like this hyperactivity, and like very, very fast thinking, and just writing down, just wow, busy, 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 teaching, and and yeah, there was like a different level of energy. That's the only thing I can say in rational words. So I use this picture, I think, yeah, this one, jackrabbit, which made me feel, when I look at this one, I felt, okay, something totally changed. I don't know what it is, but what I felt like was the fourth one, the green one, where it says love, vitality, and communion with nature. And it was exactly what I was feeling. This feeling of heart being open, of well, joy, gratitude, and just synchronicity happening all the time. And so at the end of this, somebody told me, this workshop you're doing, this is great, you should go to Bali. I was, okay, where is Bali? Okay, Bali is in Indonesia, okay. This is far away, isn't it? No, but if you go there, I know some people, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm going to maybe think about it. And so I just forgot about it for a while. And it was like crazy energy. I was like full of energy and I had to do something about it. And so I went to, I think I went to Paris. Yes. Oh no, that's different. That's my friend Andrew from another place in France. He grows tomatoes and he's got a pea contest. Nothing to do with what I was telling before, but anyway. Uh, yes, that's one. I went to Paris to this place called the Sacred Heart Church. I don't know if people are familiar with that place. Okay. There's very high energy there, and there is also a story I would like to tell you about it.
Mm.
There was a man, an old man who was a blind man, and he was in front of the church. You know Quasimodo, the movie?
Yeah.
Yes, it was like Quasimodo, exactly this guy. July, so very hot in Paris, and the guy was there, just like that, and blind. And nobody was noticing him, nobody was watching him. And just by the sheer sight of that man, I started crying. I was like, no, how come this man is here? And 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 it's well, nobody's seeing. There's like 1 million people coming through the street, or I don't know how many people a day, but nobody stops and watches him. So it was like, wow, this is dramatic. Because he was not moving, and because he's blind, so he doesn't have eye contact, which is a very important part of communication, especially when you're a beggar in the street. If you cannot make eye contact, well, you lose like maybe 50% or 80% of your communication options. So I went to see that man, and he was about to leave, so we didn't talk for a long time. I just dropped the money I had and gave him, and wow, whew. And that man, we started talking, and he said, "I'm from Algeria, and I've been operated. I've been doctor operation, and it didn't work. So he lives in a shitty apartment in Paris, doesn't have any money, and is blind, and it's just unbelievable because I'm familiar with Morocco and Algeria as well, and I can really feel, I know what the situation is over there with disabled people, autistic children as well, and it's also very dramatic the way society uh, treats people with, mental disorder or physical disorder. And and so I gave that money to that man, and he left, and I was like in tears. And my friend Mika, the guy who took the photography, he told me, it's been a long time since you haven't been playing your clown in the streets. And I said, yes, that's a long time, too long. And so I had my red nose in my pocket, and I put it on my nose, and I started playing, just improvising in the streets. And I was just crazy moments. I closed my eyes, and well, maybe we can just do it now. I invite you if you want, just to close your eyes, just for like a minute or two, and just be open to what what kind of information comes to you. You don't have your vision. You have only your body, the temperature, the sound. You have things going on in your in this mental part, and you have all your body sensations from your feet to your head, and just what's happening. Just one question: what's happening? What are you going through right now? And imagine you're in the middle of a crowd in Paris, and you are standing in the sun, and there is voices, like many voices around you in languages you don't understand, and people are maybe going to bump into you. Uh, some people are going to shout in your ears, and you don't know what's happening. You don't know what is going to happen, and you just try and feel what's going on around you as if you are blind. You don't have that possibility any longer to open your eyes and see the world. How does this feel? Alright, come back if you want. If there is anyone here who wants to share with you, goes through something, there's one person here. You don't have to, it's just a question. Okay, so this experience of being alone in this, well, darkness and crowd and just playing, um, well, it was very intense, and it also it brought me to the state where I was, okay, probably this is what I'm going to do in the next months and maybe in the next years, because this feels so important and so relevant to me, like a calling, like, okay, I've got to do it. And so what comes next is, um, that's a funny thing. With Mika, the photographer, we received an email one day. I received an email. It's about a picture contest with a company based in California called Hightail. Uh, and it's about sharing files through the internet. And we make a picture, and we just send it like this. I think it's this picture. Oh, no, that's Paris. I'm in the crowd. And oh, that's astrology. It was part of something I wanted to talk about. By the way, that's vision chart. Interesting chart versus people who know astrology. Anyone who knows astrology here? No? No? Not much. Okay. Anyway, that's a different subject. So the picture was this one. So we just sent that picture to that company based in California, and they sent us $500 in voucher for a plane ticket. Well, that was cool. Just take a picture, send it. And it was cool. You send it actually. So basically, the picture was you take that piece of paper, green and blue, you make a plane with it, and take a picture of yourself and explain how you use their service, which was really like a stupid game we did. Well, that worked. It was cool. And then, okay, the next thing was, how did it happen? What happened between Paris and Bali? Why did I make it to Bali actually? And the funny thing was, that was funny. I was surfing on Facebook. Very, very original, isn't it? Uh, and at some point I came across this blog, Purpose Fairy. Some people know it. And it was one of those sleepless nights in front of the computer where I could not sleep, so I was up and just surfing on the internet. And I saw this Purpose Fairy blog, and there is a story there, which she tells the story of, I think it was a Chinese doctor who was using acupuncture and herbs to help people get better emotionally. So I was thinking, wow, this is a very interesting story. This guy seems to be, he knows what he's talking about. It's great. And then I go further to the blog and I see there is a section where it says, submit your story. Okay, that's interesting. I've got a story. And actually I start writing down a story about synchronicity. Things that happened, like you don't know why, but it's happening in perfect synchronicity, which is very common for people. Uh, wow, okay. I was not going to talk about it, but I feel like I should talk about it now. One of the things I'm interested in also as a person, I'm interested in music, as you've heard so far, and in health as well. And one thing I've been very sensitive to, as I mentioned before, is death, actually, because so many people died in my environment. And there is this Swiss doctor which I read like all her books, and she's called Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. She's an incredible person. She's dead now. She was one of the first person to work with the people who got out of the concentration camps of Germany in the 1940s. So that was deep, and that was incredible work that she did. And she's the mother and the grandmother of what we call now palliative care. Is this correct? Do you understand that word? Palliative care. So palliative care is the place in the hospital where you go when there is no hope for you, basically. When you have cancer or you have something serious enough and you are in that place in the hospital. And she did that for 40 years, that woman. She followed people in the hospital who were about to die, and she listened to their stories. And one thing she said about what happens when you get closer to death, there is like 5 steps, 5 feelings. The first step is denial. You just refuse it. It's impossible. You don't want it. It's no. And same thing when you learn any kind of bad news, or what we call bad news. When you hear something you don't want to hear, when something is going to be painful for you, maybe the first natural reaction is to say, no, this is not true. This cannot be true. I don't want this to happen, but it's reality. And so the second step you go through is, you could say it's sadness. Like, you just see the fact and you feel, okay, this is sad. Okay, there's not much you can do about it. This is sad. And you feel sad. And you feel sadness in your heart. And then there is the next step, which you may call anger. Then you may have a feeling of injustice. Why me? Why my family? Why now? Why is this happening? And then you may have different beliefs according to your culture, where you may refer to one God or several gods or whatever. And then you have the 4 steps, which is negotiation. And you try to negotiate with reality, which means, okay, okay, like for instance, I don't know, imagine someone believes in one God or just talks to that God and says, okay, if I'm a nice person from now, will you give me that back? Or this kind of negotiation. And which is very natural as well. It's like denial, but with a different way of going through denial. And the last step is acceptation. You just accept. It's there. You just accept. It's just there. And there's nothing you can do about it. And whether it's an illness, a physical condition, somebody died, or just simple things in your life, it's the same processes. Like you go to a restaurant and you ask for a meal, and the waiter gives you another meal. What's your reaction? Anger? Denial? Maybe you're not gonna cry, but you may cry, actually, depending on who you are and how sensitive you are. And probably if you're autistic, you would cry or you would get angry at that situation. And then, so, well, that's the 5 steps. Okay. And so those 5 steps you can find and relate those 5 steps to other 5 steps like spiritual development, personal development. You can just use those concepts and apply them to other areas in life. That's fine. Hello? Oh, awesome. Well, I accept. No! Where is the string? Right. Um, anyway, okay, we're getting to the end of this talk. So I went to Bali finally. I made it to Bali, and for the first 5 days, I met some incredible musicians, did some gamelan stuff, guitar stuff. It was just incredible. Wow, wow, wow! It was so cool, and I learned many things about music and the spirituality. And one thing one musician told me there, Ryan Sudinandi, who is a composer and a gamelan director, he told me, what is music? Actually, you wrote a thesis in Vancouver, in Canada, about Balinese music, which is a lot about philosophy. And he told me music is energy. And I was, okay, yes. So music is energy for you too. Okay, we've got a lot in common then, because that's the way I see it. And he told me, when you look outside, what you see a tree. Well, this is energy. Everything is energy. We're breathing, we've got heartbeating, energy flows all the time. So that was the thing. And the funny thing also with Bali is there is so much, it's so present. I'm just thinking about astrology, like, because it's based on Hindu calendars and full moon and everything. And I just noticed the funny thing about Awesomeness Fest was full moon.
Hmm.
Like there, okay.